Okay. Let's see what we got. Who's around? Anybody around up this? I said I was going to be back on Saturday morning. And here I am. Here I am. But I'd rather make sure that, oh, good. Yes, we're here for the uh, Periscope people, yes, because they don't wake up at night when I'm there, and I can't save the video on Periscope; it disappears. So this is why I want to concentrate on Periscope people. They've been very nice to me and very good to me. So I want to make sure that who dresses as such? Me. I was talking, a friend of my son's came over this morning, and I don't know, they're talking about me being a weirdo or something like that. And that was strange. And actually, I was telling him how I even flunked. No, I got two about plant life. It goes to the replay. Oh, that's right. It does go to the replay. Yeah, I forgot. No, that was one of the other. I can't keep up on everything, but I want to answer questions live, particularly on the hiya, Brian, you're there. Oh, and Miss Holland, that's nice. Let's see. Let me get. Why getting 50? Yeah, and the real estate stuff I want to talk about. Happiness smiles. Wow, Gabe is here. Whoa. Actually, I have a big neon sign in my what do you call it? Kitchen. That says, I love you, Smiley. That's what I call my wife, Smiley. Man, you wake her up in the middle of the night. You are a dick in the mouth. Well, that's nice. See, this is why there's people that will try to ruin it for everybody, isn't it? Well, that's nice. Awfully nice of you. You don't have anything better to do. But I want to talk about really the things I found. Are you a rich man? That's all relative. Rich to me is doing what you want to do in life and having to be able to make a living on it. So I feel like a gazillionaire, richer than Donald Trump. But we don't know how rich that son of a bitch is, do we? He's so slimy, it's hard to find out anything. Nuclear armament, oh, what an interesting guy. Couldn't have said it better myself. Right, you might be a weirdo, but this is your year, though. Well, actually, the weirdness, that's what people say I'm a weirdo. No, to me, I was a weirdo when I was trying to fit in, and that's how we're all get trapped in. We're trying to fit in to the existing system, so we're becoming something we're not. And when we become something we're not, that to me is weird. You are now weird to your own soul. You're weird to your own whatever you have inside, whatever you call that. You're unnatural. You're trying to be unnatural to fit in, and that's weird, being unnatural. So to me, see what I'm doing now, I made a finally paid and asked for $50. Oh, great, Alan. Anything you'll learn from that, no matter what happens. Do your thing. So and by being what other people call weird, to me this is natural. This is what's me inside. That's why you see this question mark. So that's me inside. So bringing it out, and that's why to me I think what strange is people trying not to be what they really are. And then to me when that happens, then now you can't give to the rest of us. If you're trying to be something you're not, then you're not giving the best you have. Yeah. Does Smiley wash your clothes in a box of crayons? Yeah, that's a good one. You're so colorful. How to do it. Yeah, my cars have question marks on them. Colors make me happy. Everybody dresses. I went to a big conference on creativity. Everybody was dressed in a black suit, even the women. Everybody. It was terrible. Yeah, I'm going to start asking for a little bit at a time. Good. And that's why, to me, that's what's strange. You're weird if you're trying to be like other people. You're not weird if you're trying to be what you are. And also, that's why that means you have the most to give in life by being that way. Right? This is a very biased opinion. It's something I struggled with and tried to find out myself. And that's the time it only worked in my life when I was trying. I got an MBA and all these seminars and everything. I was trying to do it like everybody said. Didn't work. So that was the best thing that happened to me, was failing. So go out there and fail so you can get rid of that shit that's in your head that really doesn't work, but other people told you it worked. So you have to go through the process of learning that that is a bunch of nonsense that they've been telling you. But it's hard to get. Turn to the Riddler. Okay, well, actually, now come on, Periscope people, I'm looking for questions from you, because they were bitching last time I was on a couple nights ago about, you're not, people want to talk, I mean, people want to answer questions. And I have stuff I want to tell you, though, that's very important, too, about housing and real estate investing and getting a home. I mean, this is one of the biggest problems we have in our life, right, is housing. God, housing is going incredibly expensive, and people can't get housing. They're paying half their money that they earn on housing. How much are you worth? I don't know. I'm only worth it to somebody that I can help. That's your value in life. If you're not helping anybody, you ain't worth shit. That's right. Why are you here? That's a worthless life, you know. So to me, is your only value in life is your ability to help somebody else. That's what you're worth it. Okay, here's some interesting facts. I read it today's paper. Remember the paper stuff? I'm so old, I'm still stuck in this, but it's easier to clip. I don't have a good way of clipping it online yet. They want for $100,000 for a new car. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Man, you get for $5,000, you get a decent new car. You know, look for an old Toyota. That'll get you down the street. It's transportation. It's not the size of your genitals that you're buying. It's transportation. So what's it? Was Bill Nye your brother? No, yeah, I got confused with him a lot too. That's fine. You know, they're worse people. Same time, let's go. Same let's go time, same let's go channel. Yes, happiness, smile. Are there any programs for single parents and first-time homebuyers? Yes, and that's at the local level. Actually, I just did a video I'll have up on YouTube soon on what's available locally to start a business and grants for you to start home business locally. So keep an eye on YouTube, subscribe to that channel, because I taped it today and I got to edit it and put it together. I don't have time because I want to talk to you guys. Yeah, $500,000 for a middle-class housing. That's right. Now we're going to get to that. Let me tell you about some other things that I thought were sort of neat nowadays. Here in the Good News channel, did you see that guy from Mali in Paris who climbed up the side of the building, risking his life to save a child? I think it was a 4-year-old child who was hanging by his hands, 4 stories up. And so this is about immigrants. So this is an immigrant who was illegal. I think it was illegal, but he wasn't a citizen anyway. And he climbs up the wall, saves the 4-year-old child. Yeah, isn't that great? And so Macron, the head of France nowadays, he gave him a passport. Hey, we want you people. Yeah, that's what's so amazing. I mean, this whole America was all built on immigrants. I don't know why we have this thing. Immigrants are bad. My grandparents were immigrants. Yeah, everybody's great-great-grandparents probably immigrants. Yeah, we're all immigrants. Yeah, we're all buying time. I mean, sure, we have to do things. That's a different thing. But to blame it on people who are helping us do better, and tell you the truth, if we don't have immigrants, you're not going to have Social Security. That's the bottom line there. Okay. Also, here's interesting. A Kansas City football Chiefs football player just graduated from medical school. See, you could do anything at any age. This is a goddamn football player. I own my home valued $50,000 and needs major repairs and X-heat roof doors. Yes, at 67. Lots of help for that, Lucille Smithers. If you did. Lots of help, and it is. I have videos on that in YouTube for that. But basically, start with your county government. That's the best place to start. And your HUD counseling, HUD.gov. Look for counselors. Start there. But there'll be a dozen, 2 dozen, depends on where you live. Places that grants, low interest loans, don't have to pay, particularly seniors, special programs for seniors, people with disabilities, things like that. You have to start grappling. Don't go Google. See, the worst problem: do not use Google. Okay, the football football player. Okay, this to me says that he can start a whole new life. Okay, so whatever you did before and it doesn't work out, he's too old to play football, man, you're going to live no matter, you could be 60 years old, you're going to live 30 more years. That's right. So what the hell are you going to do for 30 or more years? That's what I feel. Man, I'm going to live at least 20 because I'm in my 70s now. So I got 20 more years. I'm no different than a 20-year-old in this country who has to go out and find out what the hell to do is like, how to contribute, like how to make money in life, or whatever. And there's no different for me than a 20-year-old. Sure, I have things to fall back on, but that's a handicap. See, your assets as you get older become a handicap because you're trying to make those work again. And that shit don't work again. Because the world is new and new things are like. Now, when I'm going to talk about housing, real estate, this is not government money. Man, this is peer-to-peer money. I'm going to show you how peer-to-peer money, how to buy a house, It's free money that costs you nothing and no payments and everything. So stay around when I do that. But this football player, see, you have to reinvent your whole goddamn life, all the time because the old shit doesn't work anymore. Trying to make the old stuff work just makes you cranky. And you don't want to be cranky because then people won't love you if you're cranky. You'll be cranky all you want if you want, but you're not going to get the greatest thing available in the world, and that's love. People appreciating you for what you do and what you give to the rest of the people. That's the thing that's worth more than any fucking $1 million people get to give you, man. And that's where you're gonna, peer-to-peer money. You said, what's that? Peer-to-peer money. I gotta tell you about that's one of the biggest things that are going on in the government to get money, and nobody knows about it. Well, some people do, and that's the thing. I want to make sure more people do, and you're not the last person on the train that finds this stuff, because they're the people who get cut out. The new things are growing, and they're exciting, and they're easier, whatever. When you become, you have to have a PhD in peer-to-peer in 5 years. You don't want to be that. You want to be in the beginning when I taught computer science, back in the 70s, and I didn't even, I had a bachelor's, was studying my master's, and I was teaching others at university level about computer science. Now you need a PhD to do that, right? So that's what I mean. That's what's so neat about the beginning. Or the football player don't stand for the flag. What? But those football players don't stand for. You don't know what the football player I'm talking about. Some football players do that. So that's why it's nice how we categorize everybody. Every blonde-haired woman is stupid, right? Nah, I don't think blondes will tell you that. No. Okay, here's another thing. A self-taught 61-year-old Alabama cook has just won the Outstanding Pastry Chef Award. Okay, Dolister Miles, I don't know if it's a man or a woman. Oh, Miss, so it's a woman. Spent 30 years making Southern desserts in the same restaurant in Alabama. Now she's being recognized by her craft by the James Beard Foundation. Her win is part of the sweeping adjustment in the Beard Foundation lens as the restaurant industry reckons with the issues of gender and race. More women, minorities. So it's a black woman who won this thing. Just do hard work and keep reading books and keep learning, says Miss Mills. That's what I do every day because that's my philosophy. Okay, so this woman's not educated in nothing, and wins the biggest prize in the world, for being a cook. Why? Because she loves it. She loves what she's doing. Okay, so that's what it takes. You don't take credentials. Well, sure, it may be or whatever short term, but that's not the long term. You have a long time to live in life. So even if you're 80, you may even live 20 more years nowadays. So that's a long time, man. You're 60, man. That's forever. You're 50. You're only half done. And the biggest problem is that you think you had some success, and you got to undo that stuff. Name some of the programs. 210 members of Facebook groups. Oh, nice, Gabe. Yeah, so Gabe is on, and he's talking about the Facebook.com groups, Let's Go Fans Q&A. Go there. That's Gabe's site, and he runs for people who want to share this kind of stuff. And also, let's go.com. At Facebook.com/free money news. That's where I put a lot of this stuff too. Whatever. So that's what here's some interesting data too. Data is interesting, only because we make most of our decisions based on anecdotal information. Oh, this happened to Joe, so I guess that's going to happen to me too. Or Joe, what did you have? how did you get rid of your hemorrhoids or whatever? And, oh, okay, I think I'll do that too. No, man, you can get the best expertise in the world about the success and failure rate of anything by going to the National Institutes of Health, and it's free. Sure, you have to learn how to dig it out and what it is, but you can get better than Joe. Why do we think our neighbor's so goddamn smart? Or like venture capitalists. Venture capitalists are wrong 85% of the time, and we say, oh, they're the smartest people in business. Maybe, but doesn't seem to be. If they're wrong 80% of the time, and half the small businesses are wrong only 50% of the time, so they're worse than the average, right? Who knows? They have different motives or whatever, but you can't go by that. But I guess that's entertainment. Okay. Okay. Here's some other data like that. According to the data of the Sierra Club. Okay, biased, okay, true, but they have to have some kind of data with some reasonably, scientific backing of some kind. At least 25 coal plants have shut down since President Trump has been president, who campaigned on the pledge to revive the coal industry. Yeah, I remember all that kind of jobs are going to be back, factory jobs they're going, no matter what the hell people say. People say stuff to make you feel good, right? Like I used to tell my parents what they wanted to hear, right? Because otherwise, if I told them the truth, they'd lock me up, or they wouldn't vote for me, right? So I tell them what they want to hear, and did what I want to do. So that's why data is important. So somebody has a thing, a fact, they may be, emotionally tied to it or even believe in it and everything, but you got to check it out with the data. Okay, what does that look in the big picture? That may be true for something. Like there are some dumb blonde women, but not all of them, okay? Okay, first-time home buyers put down only about 7.4% on average, according to Inside Mortgage Finance. So that's the average. Have some lunch. I'm an inventor, need funding. Okay, now first, if you're an inventor, the one thing you do not need is help from an invention company. Do not contact an invention company. They'll get thousands and thousands of dollars out of you before your head stops spinning. Do not do that. Go to your local business development center, SBDC. Google this right now, SBDC, and put your state. SBDC, Pennsylvania. SBDC, Tennessee. And you'll get the headquarters of the program locally that will help you and your invention for free. Free. That's what it's important. Sure, it's going to be, you may or may not get the best help in the world, but what the hell? An invention company, all you're going to do is lose money. So you don't have to do that. You can lose money without spending money. So don't give them money. And that's important to know. So that's how you find that. Okay, a company that should become Samsonite. Okay, this is Samsonite. The luggage people started out in Denver in 1910 as the maker of wooden trunks for Americans traveling out west. That Samsonite made wooden trunks. These, they brag that they're the lightest suitcases and things like that in the world. They made wooden trunks. I guess they saw it coming. They had to change, right? Okay, listen to this. A writer, if you're a writer, can make between $50,000 and $350,000 for a television pilot. Isn't that amazing? Between $50,000 and $350,000 for a television pilot. Cool. How can I invent the oasis? What's an oasis? Is that the thing in the desert, or is that something else? It sounds like a product, but I forget what it is. So what's gone? So where are the questions about Periscope? This was for you. This show's for you. They're not added. They say, quit talking so much. Well, Periscope people are here to ask questions. Okay, I'm 53, no income, lost job, company folded that I worked for, got evicted, no savings, no credit, and stranded. Need money today. Any options? Yes. Call 211 Michael. Don't know if that will help, but that's a place to start. 211, just wherever you are in the country. The other thing to do, if you don't even have internet and you're on a phone in the library, ask the reference librarian for the name of your congressman or senator. Okay, so you want the local office of your congressman and senator where you live in this country, anywhere. Tell them that you need help, okay? Because they're the people, these are people that are there to help problems like that. The other thing I would do, you do everything. You don't do one thing and hope that your ship comes in. It ain't gonna. Your ship only comes in when you send out 1,000 rowboats. And that's the important thing. They made a movie, in a movie, Ready Player One. I'm not sure, Alien. And that's the important too. So you do 211, you do your elected official. Now what you need is a job. There's training money, there's living money, there's all kind of money if you're looking for work, and that's at something called your Career One Stop. Career, CAREERONESTOP. They're also called Workforce Center somewhere. It's a state labor program. Every state has them, so you have to look locally. Okay, so you're looking for your Career One Stop. Okay, throw yourself on their mercy. Okay, so now you've contacted 3 places. Okay, that's the place to do it. Okay, now you're hurting for money. Okay, you need money fast without anything to do. Okay, what you do is start looking at what's called the gig economy. Okay, start signing up on these things. Go to something called TaskRabbit, and that's a thing locally. Info for $50,000 to $30,000 right for a TV project. I don't have the info right offhand. This was just a survey done. So of people who write for TV pilots. Now to find out how to write for a TV pilot, there's a book in the library, and it's probably online too, called The Writer's Digest. Writer's Digest. So that's a main source of the sources of income to be a writer. Okay, so that's the Writer's Digest. Also, where was I? Okay, somebody needs help. Survival money, right? Okay, and so you want the gig economy, because you sign up on there and you see if you get a job. I mean, there's something called Shift Gig, ShiftGig.com, or maybe Gig Shift. This is, you sign up, and they need people like today, they need people to cater for a party. Now, it's not available in every city, but a lot of cities, it's there. And you can make maybe $50 tonight, catering at some fancy party. I'm out of the country with no transportation. Truck broke down. I'm the king of bad fucking lag, 70 miles to town. So you're out of the county, not out of the country, right? And you're only 70 miles. Well, you're still, I mean, I would still go to those places where you live. I mean, you're only 70 miles, that's not far, and you need emergency help. See, there is emergency funding programs for where you live. Now, if you don't have a residency address, that may be an issue. I don't know. I mean, there's if, ands, or but. I can't guarantee anything. All I know that the programs exist, and everything has requirements, and we have rules and regulations, so people just don't give the money nilly-willy, right? So it's your tax money, so they want to be as efficient as possible, and make sure that people who really need it get it, and all that kind of stuff. So you have to fight for that and see, and if it's not, then you have to look somewhere else. It's a numbers game. It's like getting a date. Every woman is not going to say yes, even if they don't have a date tonight. They have to wash their hair, and that becomes more important than going out with you, right? That's happened to me lots of times, right? So that's right. You just have to go through it. Okay. Now here's what I want to cover. Okay, about real estate. So important in our country, right? Now, peer-to-peer lending. Peer-to-peer lending is cutting out the middleman. The middleman in this country is called the financial services industry. Your banks, your mortgage company, all these people. These people are the most profitable people in the country. They make money, more money than anybody else in the country as an industry, with the least amount of people. They're responsible for 25% of the profits in America and only 4% of the jobs. So you get very few people making a shitload of money. And that's why, because they're making so much money, they could go to Congress and change the laws so they make more money. This is how the system works and everything. I lost everything from the hurricane. Well, that's recently or what? Okay, you start digging. Just don't sit and hope FEMA finds you. You find them. If not, you find your elected official. When in doubt, call them because they have to. They're the only person who gets paid and has a motive to help you because you'll vote for them. If they help you and you vote for them, this is how they stay in business. This is why 99% of the elected officials who run for re-election get voted again, because they've helped people like you in trouble. And then they help you in trouble, they could have 15 mistresses and hijack $1 million in their freezer, and you still vote for them because they helped you get 20 grand or whatever the hell it is. And unfortunately, that's how it worked. And whether that's right or wrong, I'm not here to discuss that. I want to show you possible sources of help to solve your problems, improve your situation, or whatever it is. That's all I want to do, because if I could improve your life, then my life is going to be better, not only from the satisfaction of helping somebody, which is the greatest reward in the world, but you'll make the whole society better. That means you're not going to be miserable. If I walk into a store and you're the clerk in the store and hate your goddamn job because you can't find a better one, then you're making my life more miserable. So if I could help you be happier, see, there's somebody else who wants that miserable job as a clerk, and you're holding that because you got it, because you're not, don't have enough gumption or whatever, or can't see your way to doing something better. I want to know how to get that $50,000 down payment so we get our current house and into a different house. Okay. There are a number of ways. Okay, this is a peer-to-peer loans that have this money, and there's about I think I haven't collected them all yet. I just started this research, and I want to share it with you guys as I get it. Oh, come on, I need this thing. Where are you? The one thing is Loftium, Loftium.com. Loftium, Loftium.com. Okay, what do? They give you up to $50,000 for down payment on a home. Okay, and there's no interest, there's no payments. Okay, and what you do, and they get their money back in 1 to 3 years. How do they do that? They get it back by you having one of your bedrooms for Airbnb. Okay. Now I don't know if they're not in all cities yet. I know they're in the state of Washington and other places. So look at that site. But that's the model. That's the model that people are doing. And there's other programs like that now too. But not only that, you have to have Airbnb. See what they do when you have an Airbnb room in your house, they're splitting that money with you. So maybe you make $50 a night, $100 a night, or whatever on that. You give them, I forget, like 2/3, and you keep 1/3. And usually within 1 to 3 years, that $50,000 you bought is over, and you don't have that, and you own the house outright. Okay, and this is the kind of things I'm putting in my reports for housing. I do a housing report for wherever you live, and we'll show you 150 programs like this, not just traditional ones. I don't have anything from banks, nothing from banks, unless it's government subsidized. So the people who have to pay for their yachts and limousines and everything, they don't need my help. They spend a lot on marketing. Okay, so I'm trying to help the people that have no money to market that they have better deals than these fat cats. Okay, so that's another. Now here's another model that they have, and it's all peer-to-peer. See, that money, that's not, they're not going to bank. Well, actually, they got venture capital money to do that. So it's not the traditional banking system because they make more. Okay, now here's one called Unison, UNISON.com. UNISON.com. Okay, what they do, they'll pay 50% of your down payment money. Okay, and see what happens if you put on a bigger down payment. Okay, if you put on a bigger down payment, a couple things happen. You have a smaller monthly mortgage payment. Okay, so if you're putting 20% instead of 5%, then you have a smaller mortgage payment. Significant. It could be hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So now every hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month you don't have to pay. So you can get a bigger house, better house, or whatever, based on your monthly what you have to pay. So you can get a better house or a cheaper monthly payment by using something like this. Now, what do you give up for someone just giving you 50 grand or whatever it is that you need to make the bigger down payment? What you give up is when you sell the house, you split the profit with them. Housing is going up, okay? Even though in the recession now it's still going up. So this is what they're betting on. So they're saying, okay, they get a percent of the increased value. You buy a house for $200,000, you sell it in 5 years for $300,000. That means you made $100,000. Okay, they will get the $50,000 and you'll get $50,000. That's how that works, okay? You keep ownership. And everything. It's still your house. They just have that. Now, there's other companies doing that. Wow. Live with Let's Go Money, receiving genius, Matthew Rocks to the universe of... Thank you, Albert. But that's important. Now, there's other ones called Landed, LANDED.com. Okay, this is just for teachers. They're working with school boards and stuff like that to get teachers, bigger down payments, because a bigger down payment means you have a lower monthly bill for your mortgage. A bigger down payment means you don't have to pay mortgage insurance because you only financing 80%. So you need this mortgage insurance because you want to finance 90% or 100% or whatever. Give him money to Gabe and he'll give it Let's Go t-shirt group. Yeah, Gabe is trying, he did a t-shirt with my image on it. So if you're interested in swag, Let's Go swag, whatever that, he's got that on groups, Let's Go fan Q&A. Tally girl, right? Okay. Josue, Luigo. I'm 32 muscular. Okay. So now there's a whole bunch of other places like that. And actually in finding those, I ran into another one that all they're saying, oh, this will teach you about down payment money. And all that it's doing is showing people where their state housing authority is. It's a database of just the information state housing authority. So that's another thing. And so people like me are selling that information. But this is so superficial. This is just one of dozens and dozens of sources that are available to you, at your local level for buying houses, fixing it. Oh, another thing about about the peer-to-peer. What's their name? Union. What is UNISON? You can do it for real estate investing too. See, a lot of these that you have to live it, but you can do it for 4-family homes, 2-family homes, 3-family homes. So as a real estate investor, to me, this is one of the best deals. If you want to get in real estate, man, you live in one of those suckers, right? That is the question. So if someone wanted to start an Airbnb, is there help to do that? Well, you have to have a property to do. Or actually what you do is you find somebody who has property and not using it, and you put it on Airbnb and split the money with them. You don't need anything. See, people think they need money to do things. No, there's always ways around it. You don't need that. But that's why it's stopping you thinking traditionally way. You have to think, if you don't have money, you can't think traditionally, because the traditional stuff is set up for people who want money. But there's other ways to do it, but people aren't doing that. You need Let's Go podcast. That's nice. Actually, somebody just said they started a podcast on. I did an interview with somebody recently, and I'll put that link. I'll talk about it. YouTube is the best place. I really put all my videos and notices on YouTube. The best thing is subscribe to YouTube, because then you'll keep up on most everything. Or on my email. If you go to Let's Go, what is here? Down here, Let's Go free.letsgo.com/5best. Okay, Let's Go free. www.free.letsgo.com/5best. Okay, and with that, you'll see. Now, if you put your email here, Albert, I'm going to lose it. It won't. I know it's backwards on YouTube. I don't know how to change it. Because after I do the live, all the chat disappears. So I can't go back. I can't use it, Albert. So you got to use one of these. Or less. Best way to get on the mailing list. Don't trust me in email. I lose things too much time. So it's free.letsgo.com/5best. Okay, or subscribe on YouTube to my channel is Matthew Lesko, one word. But so now you could be a real estate investor. You're going to get 50 grand or whatever, and you get a 3-unit or a 2-unit or whatever. One is a property that you use an Airbnb or a rental, long-term rental, whatever. And the other one's a living. I can't see it. I can read it. I can't see. I can't see it. Can you read it again? Yes. www.free.com/5best, and best is all small letters. So www.free.lesco.com/5best. Okay. So that's right. So as a real estate investor, or you want to get into the Airbnb business, you don't need any real estate. You find somebody has an empty bedroom. You find somebody trying to rent their apartment or something. Say, hey, let me put it on Airbnb and see if I can make money on it, and I'll split it with you. They're trying to rent their house, trying to rent their something else, and you do all the work of figuring that out and split the money. So it's not ideal. Sure, it's not ideal. But if the ideal means you have to have a lot of money you don't have, that seems, what I'm suggesting, a hell of a lot easier. And you start learning. And that's how to do. The most important thing is that you're starting to learn the real game. You're not waiting for perfect, because perfect isn't available and probably never will be. So the most important thing, that you're in the game learning now, like learning how to walk. Don't wait until you have the best floor in the world to do it. Take any floor you can and start stumbling yourself right now, today. And try to learn something with it. Like my son, he's got a garden in the backyard, and I said, hey, you can get free land from the government to plant things. They do it in our state. They do. He said, oh, I have enough here, but I just have to learn the system, how things grow, how things plant. So whether he has 1 foot or 100 acres, it's the same process. So why have 100 acres when you can start 1 foot and learning it? That's what you have to do. Do you read and respond to Facebook messages? Same. Sometimes, Albert. Most of the times I try. It depends. I'm a one-man band doing everything. So I would love to respond to everything, but sometimes it's impossible, and I have to do priorities. Paying people are first. and I just screwed that up the other day too. Oh man, I had a report due, and I was a week or two late, so I wrote the guy and I gave him a freebie about all that stuff, and he and I said, I'm going to be late. And then I forgot about it. I forgot to do it. So he would say, hey, wait, and a week or two later, he said, when are you going to sell it? Send it to me. And if you're not, just give me a refund. And then I looked up because I forgot what I did in the past. And I looked up his order, and I thought it was done. It was just placed like, a week ago or 4 days ago. And I wrote him, I said, hey, no, it usually takes about 2 weeks for me to do this. I'm sorry, or whatever. So I said, then I'll get it to you soon. And then I realized, oh no, it wasn't. I thought I was reading, he sent in the order at May 29, but it was April 29. So I made a huge ass on myself. So to me, I said, hey, listen, I'm going to refund your money and I'll get it to you tomorrow. And that's just my incompetence. And I just have to learn to live with it. We all are incompetent. It's just that as we get older, some things are becoming a little more incompetent than other parts of us. And that's why your heart, that's the one thing I feel as I get older. The one thing I could keep growing more than anything else is a heart, and love. And so that's the one thing I could do better than anybody else as I get older. I can't run as fast. I can't do this. Can't do everything else as fast. But I can love harder. And that's what we all can do. So that's why practice when you're younger, because that's one thing you could do forever. And that's a greater thing to do than almost anything else, I think. Sure, you have to survive, you have to pay your bills, pay your own way in this country, and that's important. Listen, okay, I'm going to take off. I got a report to do, and these people get angry like that, and I lose customers. But thank you again for showing up, Gabe. Thanks for all the help you're doing. Don't forget, Gabe has the t-shirts on Facebook.com/groups, and then /Let's Go Fans Q&A. Okay. Okay. I,
You over?
yeah.
Did I stop you?